Hey, are you doing anything with your podcast after publication? Because that's actually where it has the most value. Don't just let it sit idle on Spotify or YouTube. Here's what I did to turn a simple podcast into a full-on content engine that contributed to 209% organic lead growth and 389% web traffic growth for a client of mine. If you don't have time to watch everything, that's okay. Here are some quick takeaways for you. 1. Convert your transcripts into long-form blogs with ChatGPT. 2. Slice your episodes into 5 to 10 minute clips with searchable hooks. 3. Auto-generate and edit 30-second shorts with tools like Opus Clips. 4. Post shorts natively across all your major channels. 5. Build bingeable playlists that target niche topics. And finally, 6. Start with great content that solves a real problem. You need to stop with the bare-bones podcast summaries on your website. Great in-depth blogs are a core pillar for SEO. They drive discoverability, conversions, and retention. The best blogs don't just keyword stuff. They provide real value, original opinions, and unique insights that you can't get anywhere else. Guess what most podcasts include? All of those things. And if you're throwing your podcast up on your website, that's a great start. But if you're just putting it on a page with a 300-word summary, you're missing out on a huge SEO opportunity because you can take those podcast transcripts and turn them into the kind of in-depth resources that both search engines and AI bots love. I like to use Riverside to record my podcast. I found the transcripts it provides are highly accurate and are generated pretty quickly. Once I have a transcript, I like to go through it and break it into sections. Then I go section by section, copying and pasting the transcript into ChatGPT and turning it into article text. The specific prompts I use are generally along the lines of, quote, "You're an investigative journalist writing an article about whatever the topic podcast is. Use the following text to create a section on whatever that particular section is about. Create subheads where appropriate," unquote. Once the article sections are written, I'll often tell ChatGPT to use those to create an opening and closing paragraph that ties everything up in a nice bow. The result is an article that is in-depth, detailed, personalized, has actual value, and is much more likely to rank on search engines and get referenced by AI bots. Now, as always, you need to read and do a final edit of the generated article from start to finish. I find the transitions generally need a little massaging, and a few things here and there need to be rewritten to sound more like me. Additionally, I will note that I have trained ChatGPT to write in my voice, which I highly encourage you to do as well. All in all, this process lets you write a lot more in a lot less time with much better results, without sacrificing depth or quality. And this is because ChatGPT and other AI tools do great when they have the proper context and instructions. It is generally when you're trying to create an article from nothing that they really f*** up. So this will make the podcast pages on your website much more valuable without expending much more effort than it was taking you to write those much shorter summary articles. There's a really happy place between a full-length podcast and a 30-second short. It's videos that are about 5 to 10 minutes long. I've found most podcast episodes generally cover 2 to 5 topics or subtopics. And if you're following best practices, you should already be listing these as chapters in your long-form episodes. Cutting each chapter into its own video is not only a very easy way to reuse content you already have, but it can allow your content to hit for search queries that the long-form episode might not. The key here is to craft titles and descriptions that align with high-intent specific searches. When it comes to publishing, I've done it 2 ways, particularly in regard to YouTube. One way is to create a playlist and stitch the segments together so they play together much like the original long-form episode, or perhaps even in place of the long-form episode. The other method is to simply upload them standalone. I haven't really noticed a big difference in views either way, but I encourage you to experiment. And if you do, please tell me if you discover otherwise. I would love to know what your results are. Additionally, you should make sure to use chapters for these shorter video segments as well. That means you need to get really granular with identifying and bucketing your content. Bonus, you can repurpose these videos into blog articles as well. Doing this, along with creating an in-depth article from the full long-form video, is a great way to fairly quickly create 3 to 5 spoken wheel articles for your website. And once again, because they're personalized, in-depth, and hyper-focused, search engines and AI bots will love them. If you have long-form video, you should be making shorts. It's inexcusable if you aren't when tools like Riverside and Opus Clips make it insanely easy. Shorts are your best shot at getting discovered by new people on platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Not to mention, they make great content for any social channel. If you use Riverside to record your podcast, it's very easy to auto-generate shorts from your recordings right in the same platform. If you don't, you can upload video to Opus Clips and it will do the same. These auto-generated clips require some sifting and tweaking to get super compelling shorts, but it still saves a mountain of time over doing it the old-fashioned way, especially since you can create square, aka 1.1, and vertical, aka 9/16, versions simultaneously. I highly recommend square shorts for LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and Facebook, and vertical shorts for TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram and Facebook stories. Keep the shorts around 15 to 30 seconds and lead with a super strong hook. One podcast episode can literally provide weeks worth of shorts if you really need it. If you're dropping podcast episodes on a weekly cadence, I generally make just enough shorts so that I'm publishing 1 or 2 each day between podcast episodes. So that would be roughly like 5 to 14 shorts. Don't overlook the binging power of playlists. You should be creating playlists by topic and making sure that you're putting your podcast videos in any relevant ones whenever you release a new episode. This requires so little effort, but can pay long-lasting dividends. Not only does it make you easier to find when people are searching for the kind of content found in your playlist, but they make your content much more bingeable. Who doesn't love a good rabbit hole to fall down? This works especially well if you're making content for underserved topics. You can become the go-to source. The more niche you can make your playlist, the better. Another hot tip, always include an end screen and personally suggest what video people should watch next. Be thoughtful in which videos you're linking together so people keep going down that rabbit hole. There's only one thing that really makes all of this work though: great content. Long-tail marketing only works if you're saying something worth watching, sharing something worth reading, or saying something worth listening to. So start with value. What are you uniquely positioned to offer people? Who is your content for? How can you help them now and later? The rest is just a simple matter of distribution.